Shumukakwadash. I want to say, I want to give double honors to our apostles of GMS that rule well, our beloved teachers, and a peace, blessing, salutations to the hopeful elect. And as you can see the screen, the title, Something Evil Happened to Black Soldiers During World War II. I had I came across this channel, I think last year, and actually forgot about it. I stumbled across it back at it again today. I was watching a couple of videos. It shows like the YouTube channel says black so-called black culture unlocked. The things that happen to so-called black men here in America, which is evident. Everybody has a lot to lip to say. It's gotten so bad, and the ultimate low of low how you say low the lowness of our nation can be seen by how the so-called black woman sits there and act as if the so-called black man is worthless or he's not needed. She's above him. She comes from him. Basically just unbalanced, unjust. It's a blatant disrespect. Um, Talking of shit, and it basically the so-called black woman here in America, she as if acts as if the so-called black man is completely worthless and nothing and has done nothing. But that just this people say why um the black so-called black people are in the state, the condition that they're in. But it's evident, the so-called white man, which is in power, which is in control. You go to Job 9:24, and it tells you the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. And we understand, the prophecies. You know, this is the system where Yahweh Shah is going to return and throw down this infrastructure, and he's going to supreme reign king upon the earth, and it's not going to be nothing that nobody can do. But you know, these are the snares and the traps that Esau conducted on, starting with the head tribe, Judah, the so-called black man. You can go read the book of Ezekiel, I believe the 35th chapter, talks about Esau's perpetual hatred towards Judah. And it's a book called Petra the Day. And it constantly talks about Esau's hatred towards Judah, Israel, but mainly the southern tribes, because the kingdom was already on the western hemisphere, so Judah was left in what you say what the world called the Middle East. So our people, so-called blacks, Benjamin, Levi, and Judah, they were still in Israel, Jerusalem. And fast forwarding, you have today the captivity of all the 12 tribes of Israel, but the focus is on Judah. And as you can see, so-called black men have served this country. They have tried to get along with Esau. They have tried to, they even were coons, became Uncle Toms. And this video actually goes into a lot. Because the ones that know, a lot of our grandparents, grandfathers that fought for this country, they came back fucked up, or they would treated badly, and they fought for a country that showed them no favor or had no mercy. then you serve the military. So like you served the war, you fought in the war, and then you will come back and be called a nigger. A white woman or a so-called white man will call you a nigger, a good for nothing nigger. And here it is. We live in a country where if it wasn't for the so-called black man here in America, you wouldn't see what you see here today. If the so-called black man didn't, even in wickedness, man, even in the prison system being filled up. So you get what I'm saying. If it wasn't for the so-called black men here in America, America wouldn't be half of what it is today. All the evil, the hatred, the unjust, and it's crazy because it seems as if Esau tries to clear up his record, they clean his record, and where I'm going with this is, you had what is it? Jake knew because you had the Jim Crow era. You had the 1800s where a lot of slavery was still going on. Then you had even the presidents had ownership of slaves. You had the Black Panther era. You had Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Khalil Muhammad, Marcus Garvey. So basically, what I'm saying is, Jake knew that the so-called white man was the devil, and then how you say Esau stirred Jake, made Jake Judah couch down as a lion. Go to the book of Genesis, the 49th chapter, and Judah said, you know what, if you can't beat him, join him, and they got that spirit on them. So they joined, integrated with America. They thought they can become one. They just take the lashing, the bad names, the ridicule, the reproach, the byword. They started, doing the Motown, dancing, basically becoming one with Americans. So Judah, took the ideology of them being Americans. So, they become one with the society. And then years later, 1990s, you had the rise of gangster rap, the destruction and the elevation and the rising and the promotion of dysfunction. But Esau tried to again make Judah go to sleep. But here it is, starting with our elders on down, the Lord stirred up that spirit up again. So, Esau tried to hide his violent, bloodthirsty record that he did to the so-called black man, starting with the so-called black man on all the tribes. And the remembrance of things, like the scripture says, go to the former things. Go to the old days. A lot of our grandparents didn't teach us a lot of things about what happened and what Esau did to our people. They basically try to coerce you just to get money and education, and that will solve and fix and work its own things out. But it didn't. It never did. It made us worse. And the Lord is stirring up this that spirit up, dividing America. The truth is out there of who we are, and that same how you say that the white man's the devil is still it came back because one time it died for a moment. Malcolm X was on the scene, Khalil Muhammad. They constantly said the white man was the so-called white man was the devil. And then years later, starting with our elders, what is it, 2007, when they got on YouTube, that same spirit came. The white man, the so-called white man is the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of. So Esau couldn't hide his violent past, his history, and that's why even to this day he tries to shadow ban, get rid of our videos, stop us from uploading these videos and doing these videos, because he wants to cut out the truth. That's why the scripture says, If I become your enemy because I tell you the truth. But when the so-called black man was so-called being your friend and basically turning the blind eye of you being a devil, a snake, a serpent, and you doing all types of heinous acts towards us, was okay. But when the so-called black man stands up and call you out for who you really are, the devil that the Bible speaks of is a problem. And we shed light to the atrocities that the so-called white man done to our people. And you go on his channel, I mean, it has a lot. You know, Lord's will, I'm gonna watch more. Lord's will do some lessons on it. And I actually did a lesson on the untold horrors of black males slaved by white women. Um, I'm watching the other one. I think it was how the U.S. government destroyed black families. A hidden black history. The U.S. government tried to. No, I didn't. I didn't watch that one yet. But yeah, this this channel has a lot of things that's on point. But I'm gonna give Baruch, and I'm gonna end it. So this is Baruch 4. Salaki underneath the weather. Salaki. Start at verse 30. So Baruch 4 and 30. It says, take courage. So, gird up thy loins, you know, receive the message, walk in the message, believe in the message, receive this gospel. The scripture tells you, our kingdom is nearer than what we believe. And yes, it seems as if, things is getting out of hand. Things are, it's getting more crazier, which is all prophesied. This is just the breaking of a society which has been led and, coerced and constructed up by evilness and wickedness and witchcraft and sorcery. And Esau's basically trying to clean up his dysfunction, but the ultimate goal is to put the object inside of you, so he can really put a hold on you and control you and force you to believe in his way. That was the whole point of pleasure. You being coerced by Hollywood, riches, immoral sex, drugs, happiness, laughter, celebrating, idolizing, idolatry, um, this whole infinite of wealth and mirth and joy and pleasure and drinking, drugs, partying. That was the illusion. Carelessness, which leads to not having discipline, which leads to what? Ultimate destruction. And that's why the scripture says the wages of sin is death. But it says take courage, Jerusalem. Yahweh who gave Yahweh Shalom, Yahweh who gave you your name. And when you read Jeremiah 31, it tells you you know if you see the sun, it is roughly paraphrasing, if you see the sun, the moon, and the stars, then Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai never disannulled his covenant between us, which he made with our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So it says, will now bring comfort to you. How is the comfort? And what was that comfort? The scriptures, the light that's been shined and given to us through Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, the so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. So it says, misery will come to those who mistreated you, and then rejoice when you fell. So starting with the so-called white man on down, all the nations have rejoiced. That's why the scripture says in Lamentation, they wag. Let me see if I can get it. Uh, Lamentations. I believe it's 2. Bear with me one moment. Might be 1. Matter of fact, I'm just put the hiss. So Lamentations 2:15. All that pass by clapped their hands at thee. They hissed and wagged their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, Is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? Real quick. All thy let me see. All thy enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash their teeth. They say, We have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. So, all the nations, because it's eight. What is it? Damn. All in all is 18 nations in all, and the other, we make it, including us, we makes 18, and the rest of the 17 nations, they talk shit against us. And who started that plot? Who basically told the whole world who we are? The so-called white man. Why? Because he has the records. So going back to Baruch. Bear with me a moment. Back to Baruch. So it says, misery will come to those who mistreated you, and then rejoice when you fell. Misery will come to those cities that made your children slaves. Misery will be the fate of Babylon, that city which swallowed up your children. And yes, here in Babylon, in America, known ancient Babylon, we got swallowed up, destroyed, persecuted, temple sacked, and even to this day, in America, known as Babylon the Great. Uh, you know, our names were begotten, not begotten. How you say, took it from us, beaten out of us, cut off. Going to Psalms 83, it tells you how Esau conspired a decree to cut us off of being a nation. That's why when you look at anything that has to do with the Bible, you don't look at us as being the chosen children of Israel. That's why so-called blacks, Latino, Hispanic have become brute beast. But continuing on, just as that city which swallowed up your children, just as that city rejoiced when you fell and took delight in your ruin, so now she will mourn when she herself is deserted. I will turn her proud boasting into mourning and take away her large population in which she took pride. And America takes pride in, her what is it, the mirth. All the nations coming here and able to indulge in the lavish, so-called lavish and delicious ways of America, because America teaches basically, you don't have to keep anything, your morals, no conduct, no character. You just do as thou will. And America holds, pride that American flag. And if anybody really has some fucking sense, they would know that that flag is very bloody. It says, I, the eternal power, will send down fire on her, nuclear missiles, and it will burn for many days. Her rooms will be haunted by demons for a long time to come. Yep. So look to the east, because it tells you, after everything said is done, only going to be bird-like creatures here in America. So it says, look to the east, Jerusalem, and see the joy that Yahweh is bringing to you through Yahweh Shah. Look, your children are coming home. The children that were taken from you, they have been gathered together from the east and from the west by the command of Yahweh or Yahweh Shah, the Holy One. And now they are coming home rejoicing in the glory of Yahweh Bashem Shah. And that ultimately, that's how you know this is a pending prophecy that's going to be fulfilled. Because, hey, it's the people out there now that's talking about those are the chosen, those are the real people. But if that was the case, we wouldn't be reading the Bible. We wouldn't be teaching. So it's just a cut on their behalf, and that's why Esau's gonna be taken down. But with that, hey, shalom.